industry secrets that most business owners never share. Small 20% improvement in your funnel just 4x your current revenue. Fifth stage is something that a lot of people don't have. Hi, my name is Dennis and I've helped over 100 coaches to scale their business. In this video, I'm gonna simply break down every sales funnel that actually works for coaching businesses. And I'll also show you a little trick that can be used to any funnel to drastically improve your conversion rate. Frankie Sean, for example, went from making around $12,000 per month to $30,000 by simply using this method. So just sit back, relax, open up your notebooks if you want to take notes, because I'm about to spit pure value to you. Almost every single business in the world looks like this. You have your traffic. From that traffic, you generate leads. Then you convert those leads into happy customers. And your sales funnel is basically an automated system of generating leads and then converting them. And I would argue that it's almost the most important part of any business. Because once your sales funnel is fully optimized, all you really need to focus on is sending as much traffic to the top of the funnel as possible. And then just like magic, at the bottom, you have raving fans ready to throw money at you. Now, there are three main funnels that work for coaching offers. Those are VSL funnels, live webinar funnels, and then pre-recorded webinar funnels. Now, most business gurus will say that, oh, live webinars is the only thing that works, or VSL funnel is the only way to make over 100,000 per month. But the truth is that all of them work. It's just really a numbers game. Coaches can easily make over $100,000 using all three different methods. You just need to find the one that works the best for you. Either way, I'll start with going over the VSL funnel, since once you master that one, setting up all other types of funnel, such as webinars, will be incredibly easy. I'll start with going over the core principles of how a VSL funnel actually works, and then, like I told you in the beginning, I'll be giving you industry secrets that most business owners never share. But those secrets are, for example, exactly what allowed our client right here to scale past 7 figures. But first things first, let's dive into the fundamentals. A VSL is a video sales letter, which is a video that encourages your prospects to book a sales call with you. Or if you sell low ticket, to make the purchase immediately. And to send traffic to this video, in either your ads or your organic posts, the CTA will always be watch the free training, because we want to follow the rule of giving at least 5 times before asking once. In other words, we're trying to give as much value as possible during this video and then asking them to take a small step of commitment, which is simply to book a call. And when it comes to filming the actual VSL, I suggest every coach to film 5 different parts of their VSL and then put it all together. Starting with the first part, which is your introduction, which will be anywhere from 30 seconds to perhaps a minute. And this part is ultimately what decides if your funnel will be successful or not successful. Because following the rule of the time amplifier, we know that 1 second buys us 15 seconds, 15 seconds buys us 30 seconds, 30 seconds buys us a minute, 1 minute buys us 5 minutes, etc, etc. So this introduction part of your VSL will decide if you gain your prospects time or not. And a golden rule to gain people's time is to make them feel like they're missing out on something if they don't invest their time, because the fear of losing out on something will always be more motivating than the fear of gaining something. So for example, if you're an investing coach and you're selling a program where you help your students make smart investments, a good introduction would be the world is changing rapidly fast, and if you don't adapt, you're leaving money on the table. Or if you're a fitness coach, this one simple method made my student lose 15 pounds of fat in less than 30 days. Without it, your training is literally useless. So to summarize, the goal in phase 1 is to get your prospects' attention, make them feel like they're going to lose out on something if they don't continue to watch the video. Now, if you have a great phase 1, you bought yourself around 1 to 2 more minutes of their time. But the first objection and the most common reason for why people will leave your VSL after those minutes is because even though you sparked their interest, they don't believe in what you have to say. And that's where phase 2 of your VSL comes in, which is trust building. During this phase, you're going to be talking about yourself in practice, but in reality, you're going to be talking for your prospects. Now, I understand if that feels confusing. What I mean by this is simply you're going to explain where you started from and then how you succeeded with whatever your business model is. But I want you to imagine that you're living in an alternative universe where you are living your prospect's current life. And then you're going to explain how this person successfully achieved this prospect's dream outcome and desire. This is where your market research will play a big role in succeeding with this part effectively, because the more you manage to show your journey from a prospect's perspective, even though you're talking about yourself, the more successful you will be. So the goal of phase 2 is to build relatability and at the same time trust. And one important thing to remember is to say that you succeeded using your unique mechanism, which brings us to part 3. We have a unique mechanism in order to stand out from our competitors. Every successful business in every industry and in every niche has a unique mechanism. For example, if you're a fitness coach, you would not simply say, here's how I lost 20 pounds of fat in 30 days. Instead, you would use a unique mechanism and you would say, here is how the metabolic acceleration method made me lose 20 pounds of fat in 30 days. Even though the outcome of the program is the same, and perhaps even the method of achieving the outcomes are the same, your unique mechanism makes you stand out from your competitors, and at the same time the perception of how to achieve the dream outcome changes for the better. And that's why we use a unique mechanism. So the goal of phase 3 is simply to explain to your prospects in detail how they can achieve their dream outcome using your unique mechanism. And it's important to give as much value as possible during this phase, almost to the point where your prospects actually could go ahead and reach their dream outcome on their own by simply watching your VSL. Next, we have phase 4, which is very straightforward. The goal is to make your prospects trust your unique mechanism by showing them a bunch of case studies and testimonials from your students or clients. Something important to remember though is to never only show them why. Instead, always show how they went from X to Y. And the reason for that is just like in phase 2, we want to build relatability. We need our prospects to feel like they can actually achieve the outcome, just like these people from your case studies and testimonials did. And finally, phase 5 is to tell them to book a call. And a great thing to do during this part is, again, just like we did in phase 1, to make your prospects feel like they're going to lose out on something if they don't book their call right away. An example would be having a 20% discount code for the first 20 founding members. Or if you have limited space available, simply saying that you have a few spots left and they should book their call before it's too late. So to summarize the fundamentals of creating your VSL, you need an attention-grabbing intro. You then need to immediately build trust and relatability. Next, you show them your unique mechanism. After that, you show them how they're gonna achieve their dream outcome using your unique mechanism. Then you build trust towards your unique mechanism. And finally, you have your CTA. This structure of filming your VSL can and should also be used to film your webinars as well. The only difference would be that you would make each part a bit longer and a bit more detailed. But now for the big industry secrets and a small trick that drastically will increase your conversion. So right here is a real VSL for a real client. What I want to show you is first of all how to get results like this, but also how to actually set up your VSL in GoHighLevel, which is the software you see on your screen, and it's the software we use for all our clients. But you can use any software of your choice as long as it is a CRM system. But for you to understand what I'm about to walk you through, you need to understand each step that's needed to actually create your VSL. There's 5 things that you actually need that a lot of people don't tell you that you need, but you need them. The first one is the opt-in page. An example is this. Next, you need the VSL page itself. An example looks like this. And don't worry about making it looking fancy. All you really need is the VSL itself, a big CTA, and then some copy and just some testimonials. As many testimonials as possible, of course. The third step is an application form that looks like this. And the reason we have this is to qualify our leads, because we only want to go on high quality sales calls. We don't want to waste our time. I suggest you to use Typeform to create this, which is basically a form creator. But what you can do with Typeform is, for example, this. You can have a question that, for example, says, this program comes at a discounted price of $4,000 for the first 20 founding members. Are you ready to act on this opportunity and invest in yourself? And then you have yes or no. And in Typeform, what you do is for everybody that says no, you can send them back to the VSL immediately. So they can't book a call unless they say yes. And that's mainly the reason why I suggest you to use Typeform. The fourth step is to have the booking page itself. You use Calendly for this or any booking page of your choice. And then the fifth stage is something that a lot of people don't have, which I really suggest them to have. And that is to redirect all users that actually booked a call back to the landing page with a video on it. You can easily do this with Calendly, and in the video, you would simply say that they need to check their email and confirm the call. And we do this to boost show-up rates so that people actually show up to the call. To summarize, you have your opt-in page, VSL page, application form, booking page, video to confirm the call. But what if I told you that all of that is only 20% of what you actually need to have a high converting VSL page? Because the magic happens from the backend of the VSL page. Let me give you an example. Let's say that your VSL looks like this. From your CTAs, ads, and content, you get around 1,000 landing page views. From these views, 60% of them opt in. That is 600 leads. 20% of them fill out the application form, and then 15% actually book a call, because all of them might not have been qualified. That is 18 booked sales calls that you have. Let's say that your show up rate is pretty low, around 40% of them actually show up. That is 7 sales calls that you actually have. You close around 20% of them, that is 1 sale that you made. If your offer costs $2,000, that means that from each 1,000 landing page views you get, you make around $2,000. Now, what's important to understand is what would happen if you simply improve your entire funnel by a small percentage, let's say around 20%. So let's say that you increase opt-ins by simply 5%. That would mean that you have 650 leads instead of 600. Let's increase the number of people that actually filled out the application form from 20% to 30%. And let's say that 25% actually booked a call. Then you have 40 booked calls. 40% of them show up, that is 19. You still close 20% of them, that is 4 sales. So you made $8,000 instead of $2,000. What I'm trying to show you is that a small 20% improvement in your funnel just 4x'd your current revenue. So it's important to understand that every detail is critical. For example, having 5% more people opt in, or 7% of more people booking a call, or 3% of more people actually showing up to the call can add thousands to your revenue. And that's why you need this. In GoHighLevel, or any CRM system, you're gonna set up automations. As you can see on your screen right now, for this client, we have a number of email sequences and automations for each step of the funnel. And for you to understand this better, here's an overview. So at the top, you can see that you have your traffic. It's social media and paid ads or DMs. It can literally be anything. They get sent to the opt-in page. And as soon as they opt in, they get sent an email sequence that will then get sent to the VSL page. And then after watching the VSL, your prospects have 2 decisions to make. Either they watch the entire VSL and they go ahead and they fill out the application form, or they simply watch the VSL and they don't fill out the application form. So what you need is an email sequence for everybody that watched the VSL, but they didn't fill out the application form. So what you're going to do in HighLevel or any CRM of your choice, you're gonna set up an automation. The trigger will be filling out the application form. So this sequence basically starts as soon as they opt in. Then you're gonna wait around a day. And then if they actually filled out the application form, the automation is gonna stop. But if they don't fill out the application form, they're gonna continue to get emails. And you basically send them emails until they fill out the application form. Now, after filling out the application form, if they qualified, they're going to be able to book a call. But if they don't qualify, they're not going to be able to book a call, right? So what you can do in your CRM system is have a sequence for everybody that filled out the application form but didn't book a call. So as you can see in GoHighLevel, what we have is a simple SMS message saying, "Hey, name, I see that you tried signing up for a program, but it seems like you didn't qualify to it. May I ask if you're still interested? I might help you out." And then if the prospect responds with yes, they're gonna get sent another SMS message. And basically what we're doing here is we're gonna send them to a low ticket offer, or we're gonna give them some financing plans and explain that they can still book their call if they're ready to have some sort of finance plan in place. Next, for the people that actually booked a call and confirmed their call as well, it's very important, they're gonna get sent another email sequence to make sure that they actually show up to the call. And we like to have as many emails as possible during this time frame. In each email, we use something called the 3 sales, which is relatability, social proof, and storytelling. This just simply ensures that your sales calls will be high quality and that the prospect is already informed about the program, and so that it comes to the call prepared. Now on the sales call, if he makes a purchase, perfect. If he doesn't, he's gonna get sent another email sequence. We're gonna follow up with him. We're gonna send SMS messages, and then we're gonna wait around a month, and then we're gonna put him back in our original email sequence from the opt-in. So as you can see as an overview, there's no gaps in this funnel at all. It's always a spinning loop. They're always gonna get sent nurturing sequences to encourage them to take the next step. And like I told you, once you know how to set up the VSL funnel, you can easily set up pre-recorded webinars or webinar funnels as well. The only difference would be that your steps in the funnel would look a bit different. For example, a webinar funnel would be same principle. You have your traffic, you have your opt-in, then you have your webinar. Then on your webinar, you're gonna ask them to book a sales call with you. Then they're gonna go on the sales call and you're gonna try to close them. And then you would simply set up a similar backend as to the VSL funnel.